Hadler here from stampingbees.co.nz, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Welcome back. Today I'd really like to share with you a stamp that has been designed by my amazing mentor, Jacque Williams, and to give you some hints on doing some watercolour. So let's get started. I'll flip you over and I really do hope you enjoy. So we will be using a few, or just a couple of stamp sets from the catalogue, the new mini catalogue, but we will be using a few ink pads for this card. So this is using the stamp set. This is the card that we'll be doing. This is using the stamp set that my amazing mentor, Jacque Williams, after reaching $1 million worth of sales, or 1 million CSV, she created this gorgeous stamp set, which has, just to go over there, it's called Beautiful Moments. It has these two little girls with buckets, a mother and a daughter, or a sister and a younger sibling, and a mother, or just a female standing in a field, and gorgeous sentiments. You're somebody's blessing. Collect beautiful moments and thinking of you. Even though Jacque is American, she did want to reflect New Zealand, so she has popped in there. That's a island that you can see from the beaches in Auckland called Rangitoto. It's a volcanic island, and very considerately she put in these little bits here, the seagulls, which are very Kiwi, but also these butterflies which cover up any blobs or blots that you pop onto your project, which is a fantastic option to have. So we are going to be using the two girls on the beach today, and the other stamp set that we are using, and I'm sure, oh, here it is, this stamp set here called Grace's Garden. Isn't this just so cute? Look, there's a little pussycat and a bird and some flowers. I am going to also I'll just be using the gate today and the fence. This comes with dies as well, and we'll be using this die today. It has some gorgeous flowers and outlines of all the flowers and the cat, etc. So to do the gate, I'll just run over that quickly. To do the gate, I have used from the annual catalogue in the embossing folders, the Pinewood Planks 3D. So this just gives a gorgeous wood grain, but I wanted to just highlight that wood grain just a little bit more than that. So I just got the crumb cake ink pad, and you just tap gently, ink it up. Then you pop your piece of card, which I've left over there, but it doesn't matter. You just pop your piece of card in here and you run that through the machine. And then when it comes out, I'll pop that over there as well. When it comes out, you have the grain. So it comes out with the grain like that I did both sides to show you. So you can choose. This has got the background dark with the grain white, and this has got the background light with the grain dark, which I preferred for the gate. That's just the innards, the leftover. I'm sure someone will think of something fascinating to make with that. And that's as easy as that. And you have your paper then with the wood grain. Now, this came with an arch, this particular die, but I didn't want the arch in it, so very easy to fix that. I've just decided I think I'll have it about there, and then I just pop the corners off. And just a simple gate. Just do that one a little bit more. So I'll pop that aside. So we'll cut that down the middle once we've put it together. Okay, so the next thing Now the measurements for this card, the base is in crumb cake, and that is 14.5 by 21 centimetres. The matte, the designer series paper, now this is the designer series paper that is in the Celebrations catalogue. I'll just show you. That is 110 New Zealand dollars. You get that free. It has a gorgeous artistic rendition of lilies on one side. And then, I'll pop that over there so I can show you. Beautiful, bright colours. Just like, is it Monet, someone that paints in this regard? I'm not up on my artist, sorry. But it does look like gorgeous paintings. And of course, on the other side, you have the plainer, but still lovely and bright back side of these. And I just thought this one was really representative of the sea or the ocean with the colours. So I thought I'd use that as my matte, but you could use any of those colours. And so that's that. So I'll pop this together as we're going along. We seem it's a shame to put glue on some of these papers, doesn't it, when you go to glue it up. Okay, so I'll pop that down there. And then the crumb cake matte, which is 8.5 by 12.5, 8.5 by 12.5 centimetres. And that's just going to go in the middle. And the other ones we won't do anything with yet because we have to stamp. Okay, so let's pop that aside and we should get started on the watercolouring so that we have time to dry. So let's stamp. Okay, so just looking at this card here, I wanted to have them walking towards the water. So I created the sand ending here and walking towards the beach. So I just wanted it not quite on the end, but a little bit further up, and then we're going to create the ocean as well. So to you, when you are watercolouring, of course you use Stays On. This doesn't work if you are using your alcohol blends, but this is perfect for watercolouring. So just about there, I think. There we go. And the Rangitoto Island. I will just have that off to the side a bit. About there, maybe. Probably got that a little bit higher than before, but that's okay. And I wanted some birds. Actually, I might do the words first, just to make sure I don't put the birds in the middle of where my words are supposed to go. No, we just got black on that, so ignore that. Could use the birds, I guess, to cover that up. And there we go. We could do one more. Let's just see if we can do that. I do one more bird. There we go. Can't tell now. And of course you have to give those a good clean later on. Now I will also, I'll watercolour first and then I'm going to stamp on the gate. It just needs one it doesn't quite go across, so I'm just going to stamp one post on each side there. Okay, so let's just start off with the sky. Now that is using balmy blue. Just making sure I get round the right way. Balmy blue. Oops, no water in that. That isn't very good. Use that with a bit of... Now I'm just going to start off from there, and still a little bit of yellow in here from my... Doesn't matter. I'm not going to go all the way up. Here we are. And that is a lot darker than I wanted it, but let's just keep going with it and see how we go. And then we are going to do pool party for the ocean. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to do the mountain, the Rangitoto Island. Oops. As I say, I've got a whole stack of stamp pads here. This is crumb cake. So I just want to start off reasonably dark at the top here. Now, also, if you want to add more colour, you can wait till your first coat dries and come back and you can add more to give that shading if you want. Okay, so that's crumb cake. And back to the pool party, which I want for the ocean. Now this has a bit of a green tinge to it, which I think is just great for the ocean. I am going to add a bit of shimmer pen, glimmer pen to this as well, just to give that shimmery look of a sunny, hot day glistening on the water. So light and dark areas are great because that is obviously what the ocean is like, with waves, etc. Maybe a little bit more there. There we go. And then I will use Sahara sand for the sand. So Sahara sand. Now I want that darker there, just round their feet. And just a little bit lighter there. Okay. Watercoloring is very forgiving. Well, I think it is. It is. Now I am going to go ahead and do this because obviously I can't wait between each coat, but it is quite good if you're putting a lot of colour on to wait before you add colour in the next stage so that it doesn't blend in. But I will just go ahead with this now, so do excuse me if it does blend in a little bit. So, oops. This is now Petal Pink. Now, Petal Pink makes a wonderful skin colour. Just start off very, very light, and then you can add to that as you want, but it's a perfect colour for the skin. So we will do the arms. and her face. And as I say, you can go back afterwards and you can, if you wanted to add, for example, a bit of shading in here, you can come back when it's dry and you can then add some colour to add that bit of shading onto your project, or you can just leave it as it is. Just try and do a bit, even though it is a little bit wet, but it does work better if, as I say, you've let it dry a little bit. I'll just do her leg as well. Now, there we are. I'm going to take my bracelet off, which I forgot to do from last time. There we go. Just go over there a little bit. I noticed when I listened back to that particular one with my bangle on, gosh, it made a lot of noise on there, so I do apologise. I will endeavour to remember to take it off when I'm doing something like this. Makes a lot of noise. Okay, so next I've got Real Red, and I will use that for the bucket. One of the buckets. They say colouring in, well, any craft item activity, but colouring in is very therapeutic. Now, let's see. I will do, actually I'll go back and I will do, now let's have a look. Bit of yellow here. Blonde. There we go. And we will give this, now that was Daffodil Delight, sorry for the hair. Any yellow will do, but I thought that was perfect. This is Melon Mambo. I'm going to do this girl's dress, Melon Mambo. You know, I'm doing this in these colours, but you know, you can do them whatever colour you like. At the beach with their beach clothes on, so be nice and bright and happy. Okay, I'll do that. So that was Melon Mambo, and this I might use the Daffodil Delight again for the other bucket. Nice bright buckets. Oops, a little bit of wind, that's lovely, it's so hot at the moment. And we will do, so that's the Daffodil Delight. So even though I have got a few colours here, I am using a few different ones, you know, the colours a couple of times. So now we are, now just if you want to get the ink on your lids, you can either drop some ink onto there, or if you don't have the ink refills, if you just give the stamp pad a really good squeeze in the middle, hopefully it's going to work because I'm showing you. It hasn't worked that time. A really good squeeze in the middle. It should do that. Give you a bit of ink, which is exactly what you want to just be doing, a bit of watercolouring. You don't want a lot. It's better to start off light, as with most things, and go darker than it is to start off with a big blob and it to be too dark. So if you do use your ink refill and put a lot of ink in there, just make sure you take it out to the side with your brush and water it down a little bit before you pop it on your project. And we will give her some brown here, so we might go back to crumb cake, I think. Big stack of ink pads over there. So this is crumb cake again, and I'm just going to add that into her here. Okay, and then, as I said, I want to add a bit of shimmer too. So I'll pop that on that. To the water, just give that a bit of a shake. So that just makes it look very inviting. Hopefully you can see that. I will hold it up though. And that just gives that water, hopefully you can see a bit of shimmer. Right, onto the gate. Now, I just want to fold the ends over for the gate posts. And that is where I will put the glue. So now I just need to check. So if I pop the gate there, for example, I want to just pop one more post, otherwise the gate looks as though it's not attached to anything. And I will use the crumb cake again. So I'm just going to do one on each side. There we go. And there's a little bit of grass there, so I will just grab my old olive and just give it a little bit of grass. There we go. Oops. So I just do this with my aqua brush afterwards, just to get rid of the ink that's sitting on there. And while I have this ink pad open, I have just used it on the inside to do the fence, to do a gate. There we go. Oh, now I've got ink there. No, I haven't. Okay, so, oops, that's my bracelet. Just going to put a bit of glue on just the posts. Need to bring that back in. Okay, I'm going to there, and then just to make the gate, all you need to do is then just cut up the middle. Now I want a little bit of a gap so that you can obviously have them open and see what is behind there. I just thought that very, very Kiwi, this, the gate, the backyard, going down from your batch, walking down to the beach, two little girls with their buckets to play in the sand. It's just very, very Kiwi. And the Mount Rangitoto in the background. Okay, the last thing to add on there before we are finished, and we'll pop it all together, is, which I might need my scissors because I haven't got my, of course, I've got to add a little bit of bling. Okay, done. So very easy to watercolor. I mean, the stamp is just beautiful. It is so stunning. And we'll pop that on there. I've seen some beautiful cards made with these stamps, and I just wanted, well, this is just one option that you can do. And this is in the middle, and I would use the gate, a little bit of the gate on the envelope as well. And that's it, done. So the longest part that takes is the watercolouring, but it's fun, so much fun to play around and colour in these things, and I just love it. So I really do hope you give it a go and enjoy it. Have a play with different colours, with your inks, and do some watercolouring. Love to see your projects. Please like, please comment, and please do subscribe if you haven't already. Love to hear from you. Take care and happy crafting.